All right, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But if you're Colorado, you have to like the start of this game and the finish of the game. They were pretty strong there in the final 20 minutes of regulation.
And you know what? I've watched Colorado a lot this year, and it seems like a lot of teams can play with them for 2 periods, but the depth of their team overcomes everything, and they just keep coming and coming. Kenny, we were talking about this, how they just keep coming at you, and eventually they wear you down, and that's what they did, I think, tonight in the third.
Yeah, really nice play from Drury. Gets inside position. It started with a heavy forecheck, take the body, all the important parts of the hockey game, the details, comes out to Kelly. Now, Wallstedt, who was outstanding for most of the night and probably kept this game as tight as it was, I don't think he picked that shot up. It was a little bit of a butterfly up top and was hard for him to pick up, so he might be disappointed there. But Colorado really came out. You talked about it, Bruce and JMO, where they came out flying, but Minnesota was hanging around. Then they found a little rhythm of their own when the game was 1-1, but just couldn't get that next goal. And Colorado, again, does what they do. They're depth guys. And Jared Bednar said before the game, we need more from our bottom part of the lineup compared to Game 3. He certainly got it tonight. Parker Kelly with a memorable one. His first playoff goal is a game winner. First playoff goal of his career. Game winner, so that's a big one.
Yeah, and you talk about the unsung heroes, like you mentioned in the pregame show. It's Parker Kelly, Ross Colton getting the goals, big goals in this Game 4. How about Mackenzie Blackwood? We saw him kind of come in relief last game for Colorado. We sensed he would get the start here. His first start of these playoffs. How do you look in your opinion?
Well, I thought he looked great. And to me, the importance of coming in from the last game, getting that even whether it's 10 minutes or whatever, getting back into the whole he hadn't started the game since April 14th or something. So to get back in there and get the feel of the puck and then come in, it's not like brand new. And I thought he was really good tonight. He made there's so many scrambles. Minnesota attacks the net so well. And I was surprised at how strong his legs were on being able to hold the puck out. That's his strength.
I mean,
it was pretty amazing. So I think it was a great success story for him tonight.
Seeing Mackenzie Blackwood in New Jersey for quite some time. I mean, when he's on his game, he's an athletic guy. He's built like a middle linebacker, and he's got tremendous leg strength. You saw some of that in the saves there. And especially when you're not facing a lot of shots in the first half of that game, that can be even more difficult for a goaltender. That's what maybe was going to concern me. I talked about before the game, he's not been in these big spots a lot. I know he played last year in the playoffs, but after not playing for such a long time, I think you made a great point, Coach, that he got some. He got stopped 12 of 13 in relief in the loss in Game 3. I think he got his feet wet. I think that was important. And he was mentally sharp here when he had to be, especially making a few timely saves when he wasn't facing a lot of rubber.
Safe to say he's probably getting the start moving forward in Game 5, right?
Oh,
he won. 100%. He played well. So there you go.
If he doesn't get the start the next game, I'm going, Beds,
what are we doing here?
You're trying to out-coach yourself right now. You just do what you're doing right now and keep it going.
Those two guys, by the way, Wedgwood and Blackwood, very supportive of each other. They know it's whoever's going the best is going to get that opportunity. But I think Coach Bednar knew before the series they're going to need both guys.
Yeah, and I mean, their plan from the beginning is not just to win the second round. I mean, if they're looking at doing a lot more damage than that. So that, to me, that means they've got at least 9 more games.
Yep.
Probably upwards of 15 games left in their season. So they're going to need both goalies for sure.
You said it in the highlights when we saw Nathan MacKinnon get hit by friendly fire there, that puck to the nose. You're like, wrong guy to hit. Wrong guy because he's your superstar. Wrong guy because he's probably going to get mad at you. But what a game for him, right? Like just a little bit of everything. No surprise that it's number 29 for Colorado.
No, I mean, not only got hit there, I mean, you see him in the third period limping off. And, I mean, this guy is if you've ever seen him close up, he's a man beast, and he is so, I used the word focused a little bit tonight, but, I mean, he just comes to play.
Remember the pregame when he's kind of getting dressed?
And
in the dressing room, you're like, I wouldn't talk to that guy right now.
Was there a guy focused there? That's him. He wants to win so bad.
And he was the guy that a couple of years ago before they won the Cup, said, I'm so sick of losing. I don't care about awards, anything else. I want to win.
They won
and
next
then
year.
the next year they won. So, I mean, that's the kind of guy I want as my leader.
And thank God they won, because Devon Toews couldn't have felt very good. He's just doing what he's supposed to. He pucks in front, right in front of their goaltender. He's just trying to clear it. And he goes,
Hey,
oh,
can I get
no.
you a tissue?
Oh, no, I hit our superstar right in the nose, blood everywhere.
Yeah.
I guarantee on the plane tonight they'll be going, oh, I think you look better. Like, you know, they'll be making fun of it because they won. But I mean,
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
That might be broke and still don't fix it.
But
'cause
you
that
made a
game's
great
always on
point, though,
fire.
JMO, before the game. I mean, I really take notice of that as
Yeah.
well, where he was all business. And he knew how important this game was after losing Game 3 the way they did, 5-1. It's either tied at 2, and now you got a little pressure on your team going home for Game 5 compared to, winning this game and making a 3-1 series. Not that it's not over. The fourth one's the toughest, but they feel a little more comfortable going back home and ready, and an opportunity to close it out.
Had the empty netter in this one. Nathan MacKinnon now with goals in 5 straight playoff games. That's the longest of his NHL career. Great game by Mackenzie Blackwood.